In this lesson, I will explain to you string methods, and under string methods, we are going to learn count function. I will show you how to use the count function in Python. First of all, I am going to explain you that count function returns number of times a character or a substring occur. Now, what is the meaning of this number of times? Suppose we have this sentence. We have a string, right? The variable name is read underscore book, and it is initialized by a string, which is reading is a good habit. If you want to know how many times the character E comes in this string, or how many times a character or a letter O comes in this string, then you have to use the count function. See, print and is a function. That is why you have to use the parenthesis, and then you have to also use the quotation because it is a string. Letter D occurrences. Suppose you want to know how many times the character D occurs in this sentence. So see, and then is print read underscore book dot count. You have to use the word count with this variable read underscore book dot count, because in this string we have to find out. And then in C, one print is a function, that is why we have to use the parenthesis, and then count is a function. Whenever you will write down the function, you have to use the parenthesis. So second parenthesis is for the count function D. When we will run this code, okay, run this code, letter D occurrences 2 times. See, first print statement is this: print letter D occurrences, and then 2 times. You can see 1D is here, 1D is here. Same thing, if you want to know about A, see, A is here, A is here, A is here. So instead of D, we can write down A, and then we will run the code. So see, letter A occurrences 3 times. But it is not the hard and fast rule that you have to write down this print statement as well. It's up to you. I have written only to explain to you about this coding. If you want, you can delete it. See here in the next example. Same example, read underscore book is equal to reading is a good habit in the quotation because it's a string. And then you can write down directly this variable read underscore book dot count. You do not, there is no need to write down the second line or the print function here, right? So count I, in this here we are going to count I. So I, when we will run it, see, there are only 3 times. So what is the difference between this and this? Here we have a statement as well, print letter A occurrences. Here we have only the integer that I comes 3 times. It means 3 means I comes 3 times in this sentence or in this string. It's up to you. If you want, you can write down this, but practice both, right? Practice both type of coding. You should know. Okay, now move on to the third example. Here, it is not necessary that you can find out only one character at a time. If you want, you can find out 2 characters, 3 characters, 4 characters. It's up to you. Or even a complete string, this substring, this complete word. So here, print read underscore book. And what is the read underscore book? Reading is a good habit. I have already defined here. That is why there is no need to write down read underscore book is equal to this again. If you want, you can write down. But we have already assigned read underscore book is equal to this. So system already knows that read underscore book is equal to reading is a good habit. So here print read underscore book, and then print how many times O comes, how many times C comes. There is no C, right? So only I want to show you. But if you want, you can write down here one more line. How many times A comes, how many times G comes. It's now your job, you have to practice it. And the third is how many times the word good comes. You can take a slice as well. Good comes. Read underscore book dot count and good. And when we will run this coding, so see, print read underscore book. Reading is a good habit. How many O's? So see in this 1 and 2. So 2 O's. How many C's? There is no C, 0. How many times the word good comes? 1. So count function we use to count, right? To count the number of characters or even a substring. And then the last example is here I am going to use the count function with a slice or a substring as well. Print read underscore book, and read underscore book is equal to reading is a good habit. When we will count, there are 23 characters. So I said, okay, 12 is the midway, right? But actually is not, because there are 23. So I said, okay, 12. And I didn't assign here any starting point. So it means the system will start from the 0 index, and the 0 is R. System will start from here. Print read underscore book, and the last ending point is stop is 12. Print O's in the first half. Suppose this is the first half, then it has to print the O's. How many O's in the first half? Same thing. Now it will start from 12, and I didn't assign the stop. It means it will consider T as well, the last character as well. And then see, when I'm going to run this code, print read underscore book up to 12, right? This is the index, because index we have to define in the square bracket. Reading is count it 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. You have to count the space 8 9 10 11 12. So this is the first half. In first half we have 0 O's. See, we are looking for the O, and there is no O. Okay, the second half, good habit, and there are only 2 O's, 1 2. So in this coding, you have learned that you can use the slice or a piece of a string, as well as you can use the count function together, right? So count function returns number of times a character or a substring occurs. Now you have to practice it. If still any point is not clear, without any hesitation, you can ask me. Subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.